Hey, Topical Life's Math Industry, and we are going to continue learning about union versus intersection. But this time, instead of identifying with a few points, a few segments, a few line segments, and angles, we're going to level the place up a bit. But this time, we have to put some game rules to these, because without knowing the rules to this, it will get very, very confusing, and you'll probably dislike geometry. So, we learned in the last video that union is a combination, while intersection is basically where the two unions meet. Not only that, we're going to see a lot of clutter, and we're going to see a lot of lines on here. But to make this to an easy understandment, or to make this understandable, there are two rules. A union happens when there are two lines or segments that meet together. An intersection is when the lines or the rays cross each other. But there's a common rule. Look for two colors that meet, overlap, or merge. Let's do an example problem. So, over here, we have a few problems. Let's look at problem number 1. So it says that the line MM is going to be union with the segment. See that little tiny triangle with the segment NO. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to highlight NM. And we're also going to highlight the segment NO. So NO is right here, but instead of going that way, it's going to go both ways. So it's going to go this way, and it's going to go this way. So now, referring to our common rule, try to look for two colors that merge, lap, or meet together. So in that case, if it's union, you can see that from point M over to point N, you see two colors. We can understand that since we have two colors, and since we have a line and a segment, we can say that we can have it equal with both colors M and N with a segment, because there is a segment in play. Now let's try intersection. We have line OM has to be intersected with line NO. So line OM is going to be from here all the way to there. So we're going to do this. It's a segment. And if we take a look at line NO, wait, it's not a line, it's a segment. We're going to say NO. Since it has to intersect, the same rule still applies. Look for two common colors that meet, lap, or merge. Therefore, we can say it is line NO. For number 3, instead of 2 objects on the field, we have 3 objects on the field. I'm going to use red as the first one, QO. So, we're going to put QO right here. I'm going to put purple for ON. And ON is from here to there. And I'm going to put NQ as blue. And NQ is here to here. And it has to be union. But hey, look what we have. Those 3 lines can make a triangle, which means that there can be a shape that we can form. All this, QO as a line, is union with line OM, which is union with NQ as a line, can be triangle QOM. It forms a triangle. Let's go with number 4. Number 4 is almost the same thing, but it's intersection. But there is one rule. The rule is not only have to follow this rule, but you also have to have all the terms that are true. Just like in the third thing, it said all of the sides or all the lines have to be union with each other. But the thing is, with intersection in this scenario, let's see what happens. Intersection means that all the lines have to be crossing each other. But the problem is, line OQ is not intersecting with all the lines there. Therefore, it's going to be a no solution. This doesn't intersect with these. Yeah, the confusing thing is, they do touch, but they don't continue, because there are segments right here. There are segments right here. If it's a segment and it stops, it won't count as intersection, because it got to keep going, like it actually has to do an X like this. No solution. SR and SM. So we're gonna do SR and SM right here. The thing is, we wanted a union, but the only thing we can use is we have to do it as an angle, because the only thing that meets up is this thingy right here, but there's so many points on that line. So we're gonna call it angle MSR, because it's talking about this angle right here. And finally, the intersection of segment SR and segment SM. The thing we have to do that is, they don't really connect really. But since we have two lines, and all of the conditions are true, we have to say point S. Because they're basically touching each other. And the other thing is, you see this line, or it's not a line. You see this triangle right here? I know it's pretty tiny, but the triangle indicates that it's also a line that goes on forever ever. Not only that, there's a triangle or arrow that goes like here. Therefore, it can be used as a line. Therefore, point S would only work when it touches with segment RS. So there's a lot of visuals in this video, and there's a lot of visuals in this type of math. Sometimes it can get confusing, but if you practice and practice, it'll get easier and easier. That is how we can use union versus intersection in geometry. So this video is trying to explain that practice can actually help make you better. And in this kind of scenario, or this kind of problem, if you're taking an assignment or a test or even an exam, don't ever rush. Because if you try to, chances are you will make a mistake. Like and subscribe.